Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So the numbers are very December this week. It should be relatively quick to get through because not a lot happened. So looking at Georgetown this week, we only had 5 sales. That's pretty low, but no surprise on the weeks leading up to Christmas. In terms of new listings, we only had 2 new listings, so we have seen a big drop off in properties entering the market. Acton, Glen Williams, Limehouse, and the rural market all had no sales this week, so nothing to report in terms of sales there. Acton had 2 new listings. There was no new listings in Glen Williams or Limehouse, and the rural market also saw 2 new listings. What is interesting is, again, the number we've been following of properties coming off the market, changing their price, all that stuff. This week there was 16 properties impacted in terms of expireds, terminated, etc. 1 of them dropped their price, 1 of them re-entered at the same price, and 14 of them exited the market. So the real conversation that continues to happen, and this has been happening now since the middle of October, is how many properties are coming off of the market. We have seen 10 plus properties every single week just exiting the market and not re-entering. It has done a massive reduction in our inventory, and not because of sales, because of people being like, I'm getting out of this market. So watching that and thinking about, are those properties going to re-enter in January, and are we going to see a spike in inventory, or are they waiting for the spring? This will be really interesting to see sort of where inventory levels go in the new year, because right now we are on like a major downward trajectory. So looking at active inventory, last week there was 149 active listings. We are down to 136 active listings in all of Halton Hills. This is a very low number compared to the 230 that we were at like 8 weeks ago. So we have seen almost 100 properties like come off the market. And that's like, truthfully, like we've seen that many properties just being like, I'm getting out of here, because our new listings have not been like surpassing our sales, especially for the last month or so. So that has just really changed the feeling in the market. It is not feeling like we are in a massive saturation of inventory anymore. And I suspect over the next 2 weeks, that number is going to be less and less as people come off. So we're going to be going into January with actually relatively low inventory, which is not something that I was expecting. Looking at Georgetown, we're down from 88 to 78 active listings this week. That is kind of crazy to me. We were at like 140 and now we're down to 78. In May, when it was super busy, we were in the 50s. So we are not far away from having what I would consider pretty scarce inventory in Georgetown. So that's something to note if you're a buyer. There could be opportunities with what's on the market at the moment. And if we keep seeing some properties come off the market, it's going to tip the market back into the seller's favor because there's just not going to be enough supply. So something to note. Looking at our price points, under 800,000 is down from 19 to 13 active listings. So big drop there this week. 800 to $1 million is down from 29 to 21, so another big drop. I should note, of the 5 sales last week, 4 of them were under that $1 million mark. The other one was under 1.1. So basically over $1 million is still very dead. So if you are a seller in that price point, you are not alone. There is very little transacting at that price point. But that is where we're seeing the numbers shift week to week because there's still sales happening there. The other stuff is just like properties coming off the market because we're just not seeing a lot of sales. So 1 to 1.5 million is down from 30 to 27, and 1.5 million plus is down from 18 to 17. So again, those are properties basically coming off of the market. So just interesting to see sort of what's happening here with our lower under $1 million price point being quite busy, $1 million plus being not as busy. But if we start to see low levels in that under $1 million price point, we are going to start to see sales continue to pick up there, and it should have a positive impact on the $1 million plus price point. So that is something I'm going to be watching really closely coming into the new year. So looking at Acton, we remain the same this week, 21 active listings. It's not high, but it's not low in Acton. There's a lot of stuff available though, and a lot of stuff under $1 million there. Like you can get some pretty good properties right now in Acton in like the 700 to 800 range. Glen Williams remained the same at 8. Limehouse has no active listings again this week, and the rural market is down from 32 to 29. Again, seeing a lot of properties exit in the rural market. We were in the mid 40s, which was insanely high for the rural market. I had never seen it that high. So we're starting to see it come down. So the overall story this week is really where our inventory levels are going into the new year. It's no surprise to see low sales. It's just not that time of year where we see like crazy demand. Although we had some strong weeks, this is definitely more what we'd expect to see in December. So going into the new year, the big question mark is like, where is inventory gonna land going into the new year? Are we going to start to see a lot of properties re-entering the market, like the 100 properties that came off of the market in the last few weeks? Are they coming back in January, or are they going to wait until like April, May? It's just going to be super interesting to see where inventory levels go, because if they continue on the trend that they're on right now, I guarantee you we are going to have a really busy Q1, because the inventory levels are getting to levels that we have seen in really, really busy markets when there's just not enough supply for the buyers. And yes, buyer demand is down, we know that, but when we don't have a lot of inventory, it starts to really fuel our market again, and that is where the numbers are going. So I will be back next Tuesday. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, but I'll be back to see if we had any sales, if inventory is continuing to drop, or what happened this week in Halton Hills. So have a great week, everyone. Merry Christmas.